Brompton is a folding bike company that builds around 80,000 bikes per year out of their factory in London. These are some of the smallest folding bikes available, and their ingenious design allows them to fold down in just a handful of seconds. The bikes are somewhat light, very durable, and quite comfortable to ride. Plus, you can push them around very easily in their folded state. They are a great bike to combine with public transport, store in an apartment, hide under your desk, or take with you overseas. But these folding bikes are far from perfect, and there is a large aftermarket industry that aims to make your Brompton better. For example, you've been able to find the components required to build ludicrously lightweight Bromptons for many years. I'm talking folding bikes absolutely dripping with carbon and titanium and weighing under 5 kilograms. Just this year, Brompton released their own lightweight titanium model, a 7.5 kilogram bike that might not have come about if the aftermarket industry hadn't paved the way first. In this video, I'll be explaining some of the aftermarket features available for Bromptons, including bigger wheels, wider tyres, gearboxes, belt drivetrains, and disc brakes. These popular upgrades might give us a glimpse into the future of Brompton bikes. Let's start with the wheel diameter. Brompton bikes use 16-inch wheels with 35mm wide tyres. This wheel size is key for providing the famous small fold, but it also compromises the performance of the bike in some situations. Studies conducted by Schwalbe tyres have shown that rolling resistance losses are inversely proportional to the tyre radius. This means that larger diameter wheels have a lower rolling resistance than smaller diameter wheels. Some quick maths suggest that switching from 16-inch wheels to 20-inch wheels could increase a rider's speed by 1 km per hour, lopping about 3 minutes off an hour-long ride. In addition, larger diameter wheels have a smaller angle of attack over bumps and depressions in the road surface, allowing a rider to maintain higher speeds if the surface is less than ideal. Brompton tyres are often just 35mm wide, which is a touch wider than you'll find on modern road bikes. These tyres are great on smooth surfaces, but on less than ideal surfaces, higher volume tyres can float over bumps much better, with only a minor increase to the rolling resistance. Ultimately, folding bikes trade between folded size and performance. Based on the aftermarket options available, it seems lots of people are seeking a more versatile Brompton. Let's take a look at the aftermarket wheel options. There are two common wheel diameter upgrades for Bromptons, 18-inch and 20-inch. In order to complete a wheel and tyre upgrade, you'll also need a new fork and rear triangle to match. Kinetics in Scotland manufactures steel forks and stainless steel rear triangles that will suit 18 by 2-inch tyres or 20 by 1.3-inch tyres. The number one reason to use 18-inch wheels is to fit tyres with significantly more air volume. 2-inch wide tyres deform more over cobblestones and dirt paths, which improves both your comfort and speed on these surfaces. This wheel upgrade is likely the perfect balance between folded size and mixed surface bike capability. There are some great 18-inch tyre options too, as Birdie folding bikes are built around this spec. If you want to achieve the highest average speeds on the road, the 20-inch option is about as fast as it gets for a small folding bike. You can even get Schwalbe's top-of-the-line road bike tyres in the 20-inch size, which literally halve the rolling resistance of a typical Brompton tyre. On the opposite end of the spectrum, Vincent at Eremetal in the Netherlands goes a step further and offers custom Brompton builds with 20-inch wheels in a 2.6-inch width. To make these large wheels work, Vincent uses a custom fork and rear triangle, and he even shaves down the head tube of the frame. The Explorer is the ultimate dirt road Brompton. Vincent has tested his bike on lots of mountain bike trails and has found that it's surprisingly capable. He has built up Explorers with both derailleur gears and internal gear hubs. The folded size is 14 centimeters longer, 4.5 centimeters taller, and 8 centimeters wider than a regular Brompton, which is still a very manageable size for an apartment or public transport use. Another interesting aftermarket wheel dimension is 16-inch by 3-inch. This is actually a smaller rim diameter than what is found on stock Bromptons, but it allows for the super wide tyres to fold into a very small package. The advantage of this width is that you can run especially low tyre pressures to float over sand, mud, or cobblestones. Brompton bikes have a few different drivetrain options. You can opt for no gears, 2 or 4-speed derailleur gears, a 3-speed internal gear hub, or a combination between a derailleur and the 3-speed hub, providing 6 gears. The gear range that Brompton offers on these drivetrains is between 133 and 302%. This simply means that the biggest gear ratio is 1.33 times bigger than the smallest ratio on the 2-speed bike, and it's 3.02 times bigger on the 6-speed bike. With bigger gear ranges, we can pedal our bikes across a broader range of speeds, which is especially handy for hill climbing or pedaling downhill. In comparison to other bikes, the Brompton gear ranges are quite small. Road bikes typically have more than 400% range, and mountain bikes more than 500%. To increase the capability of a Brompton, the Aftermarket is producing custom rear triangles that fit all of the best internal gear hubs. Roll-Off and Kindernay are considered top of the crop and offer 14 gears that are spread across a 500+% range. Alfine 8 and 11-speed hubs are popular too, thanks to their lower cost. And I've seen a few bikes with Enviolo CVT hubs too. A company in Germany even customised a Brompton frame to house a pinion gearbox. This gearbox has an incredible gear range of 636% and 18 individual gears, which gives this Brompton owner the ability to ride up the steepest hills and still have gears for the strongest tailwinds. When you add a gearbox drivetrain to a bike, you can also switch to a belt drivetrain. Belts are a particularly good fit for Bromptons because they're ultra long lasting, grease-free, and require almost zero maintenance. For these reasons, I would not be surprised if we saw a belt drive Brompton rolling out of the factory soon. With the Aftermarket providing new forks and rear ends to house bigger wheels, gearboxes, and belt drive, this gives them the opportunity to add disc brakes too. Disc brakes aren't an essential component by any means, although they are nice in wet conditions and are generally very reliable given that grit cannot work its way into the hydraulic lines. But with fatter tyre bikes, the regular Brompton rim brakes do not offer enough clearance for wide tyres, so in most cases, disc brakes are a necessity. Brompton frames come in only one size. That's whether you're 150 or 200 centimeters tall. While you can get them to fit taller riders by swapping a few components, best practice bike fitting requires frames to get longer as they get taller. This is not the case with a Brompton, as the distance from the saddle to handlebars remains almost the same, no matter the height of a rider. I might be a bit biased here as a 2-metre tall cyclist, but I would love to see a new Brompton that's scaled up for tall cyclists. Frame modifiers such as Junic HPV have successfully extended the length of Brompton frames to appropriately accommodate tall customers. There is no reason why Brompton couldn't offer an extra large frame size. Sure, it would fold a bit bigger, but you can bet that tall cyclists would take a bigger fold over a cramped riding position. Brompton is in a unique position where they can draw experience and design from the extensive knowledge of the Brompton aftermarket community. Perhaps the ultralight titanium Bromptons today would not exist if the product wasn't created by the aftermarket first. There is clearly demand for Brompton models that sacrifice folded size for slightly larger wheels. The 20 by 1.1 inch wheel spec would be a great option for mile munchers, and the 18 by 2 inch size would be perfect for those who want to take their bikes on bumpier roads. The frameset to accommodate these wheel sizes could even be the same. It'd be great to see premium level internal gear hubs as an option on Bromptons. These drivetrains are reliable and long-lasting, and are already available on other folding bikes such as Bike Friday, Turn and Birdie. If Brompton wanted to be a bit different to the rest, the 6, 9, 12 and 18-speed pinion gearboxes are very much an option they could pursue. And belt drive would be the perfect drive option for any of these gearboxes. Now it's time to pass a question on to you. Do you think Brompton will expand their bike range in the future?